splits and the flats, and when they're doing these new watersheds, how much is each person's, like if you have 20 acres and 4 of it's in one drain and that, she's working on changing all those around. And if they have them on that maintenance schedule, what's going to be billed and what's not going to be billed for the year is what Maryland's doing, like Kathy Finker used to do. I'm not really sure on.
I'm going to have Pam research it. I'm writing her a note.
Ask her the difference between Meredith's and...
One's finance, one's project.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure about Meredith, what that part of it is, other than schedule. She does more of the contractors.
On the cornerstone?
Yeah.
Hey,
Back on the,
under surveyors, why do I have 33003? I have scratched that in there, plus
yeah, just a change. It's the same.
plus
but
2,500.
labeled
I
wrong.
wonder, does anybody recall why I would have done that?
You just start telling why you did.
Yeah, that's
Well, kind of opened that up a little bit, didn't you?
On,
I don't remember.
I noticed in my notes is on fund number 1202, County Surveyor Cornerstone, there was some numbers reversed. 30,000 professional services should be 10,000. 30,008 miscellaneous supplies should be 300, and it comes out to 10,300. We have that same note.
Yeah, I have 10K under professional services, 30 under miscellaneous supplies.
Yeah.
300 under miscellaneous supplies. So 10,300.
I think Brandon said at that time it was a mistake that he just put the figures in the wrong.
310,000.
The totals are the same.
310,000?
No, 10.
I got
10,000 the first
30,000.
line, professional
Yes.
services.
put 2,000, 10,000. 3,000, 30,008 goes from 10,000 to 300, so making that total at 10,300.
Okay.
Is that right?
Yeah. I'm a little nervous about this drain maintenance fund though. Do we have a report in here, Jen, about where it was the prior year? Because I don't want to take anything out of there that's supposed to be in there.
You guys aren't in charge of the drain maintenance.
Okay, so he just,
The only reason he put that in there for you guys is to show the wages that would have been paid out. So really, before, you never had any say over
okay,
it.
so,
You really can't do anything
Okay.
with it. But, on the same note, Cume Bridge.
Yes.
Brandon did 2 bridges this year, and
That figure's way down.
right, the figure's way down on that. I wanted you guys to be aware of that.
Not
We
six.
need to look at that.
Yeah,
The,
Two something.
the rate has
One.
not been changed since 90. I could go back to 1990, and the rate on the Cume Bridge as the county has not been.
That's 22 years ago. Probably cost double to change a bridge.
At least.
But if you change that, you have to do, put it in the paper, advertise it, and I gave you copies of that, how the city had reestablished their Cume funds.
oh yeah.
Remember when I showed you that? So that's something I need a blessing on. And then Bill asked what percentage, which is 0.01. Every 0.01 that you increase it, it goes up to 125,000.
What's our current rate?
0.339. Cume Bridge started the year out at 1.199, 1,199,000. We've brought in 304. So, and all the money that goes in there, you're only collecting right now around 600,000 a year in taxes. But he wants to spend, he's appropriating 840. It's been okay because he's never used all his appropriations.
We had a positive.
Well, we're limited to what we can raise it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But
Right.
It's been almost 13 years. I think it's time we,
22.
22
or 22,
years.
I mean. It's about time we look at that again.
And what's the procedure with that? Like, do we have to advertise, have a
Public
public
hearing,
hearing and?
Right, that's that paper I gave you to reestablish that fund. Either that or you're gonna have to cut his fund down to what we're bringing in, and we're bringing in more around 600,000
What's the
Well,
timeline?
we-
Like, how long do we have to do that?
soon.
I know, but like, after November?
I wanna say that it's September.
You know, we talked about this when we enacted the wheel tax, at that time, when we had a bunch of culverts and things that needed to be replaced, and a lot of that's been done. I'd be interested to know before, I'm not opposed to raising it, but before we raise it, maybe we should have a projection of what all needs to be done.
What's left
That's
undone?
right.
He's got
Punch-
two
punch
major
list.
bridges, I think, that he wants to do.
He's got, yeah, to keep up with the time frame that he's having right now, he's overexpending what we're bringing in, which is cut into, but he still has a healthy balance. He still has, right now, $757,000.
Well, I think we better just leave it alone then till, for now. If he's, because the work's probably, he's pretty well committed to what he's gonna do this year, and he's got that kind of a balance.
But it's good to know that it's a possibility, and
Yeah.
definitely,
Yeah.
if you could dog ear it for next summer, then,
I think next year we need to take a look at that and.
right,
It's same, and I'm saying this just because we're on the same page, Cume Capital
is right.
is right there at 20
Same
years,
thing.
has not changed, and we spent tons of money, and that one's way low, it's into the 190,000 is all we have left in.
Well, that thing's getting
Capital.
carried away with what we spent it for.
Yeah.
That's become a,
Well, one thing is
That's
sheriff's
all.
cars, which really should be in the sheriff's budget, not in the Cume Cap. We've always done it that way.
well, I don't have a problem doing repairs and things with Cume Cap, that's what it's for, but I
Yeah.
got problems with buying police cars and everything else with it.
Well, and we-
On the same scenario, with the rate that we have in Cume Cap, our collection for the first 6 months through June, our first pay, we're only collecting 146, so 150, but we've already spent 410 this year, 1,000 out of it. So we've ate up all that we had in there as a surplus
Yeah,
and above what we're gonna collect this year.
yeah.
So our balance in Cume Cap is down to 190,000.
Even one of those cars, that really should be in the sheriff's budget request.
Should be, it
Yeah.
always used to be.
Yeah.
And then it'll come out of county general,
But-
so.
You know, looking ahead to Cume Cap, well, the courthouse is old,
Yeah.
annex is old, and highway buildings, we've used a lot of money to repair, needed repairs. But another thing to think of, it's not gonna be long, this thing will be 15, 20 years old, and then the repairs are gonna start here. And then when you start adding this thing in on that deal, then they're gonna get real expensive.
We've had some repairs in this
Some
building
already.
already.
Yeah, my ceiling's still leaking.
But I think we need to take a look at them
Storm
things.
Danny.
Okay, well, we may be a little late on it this year, but next year I think we need to tell the sheriff to put his cars in his budget.
So leave the sheriff's cars where they're at right now.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get to Cume Cap here in a little bit, so you guys talk about it then, some more.
Okay, moving on to the corner.
I got some check marks here. One on the side.
I got a whole bunch of yellow
I've
marks.
got one pay raise at 41%, I got a no out beside it, and I've got a check mark on the next deputy.
Right.
And then
Yeah,
I've got rent, and I've got, equipment, maintenance and leases, I got another change there.
You want another part-time help too.
Yeah, 11600.
I
That's
got
all.
it 0.
That's, pardon,
I put 0.
0. And he's got 3,000 in, back to 0.
So we're taking that clear out?
Yeah.
Then what about right above it, the deputy, pay raise, 41%?
It's a little steep.
Will we just leave that,
Yeah.
take all salaries the same, and whatever we do?
All salary would be the same if there is an increase.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we don't need to address that.
So,
We took office ran out.
So why don't we just move the two, we have the elected official and this chief deputy. Instead of deputy pay, why don't we just put that, I wrote part-time and put it at 11700. That way if he wants to use 2 people, he can use whoever he wants to, but they don't get paid bi-weekly. They only get paid
for
when
the
they work.
hours they put in.
Right, and that was the only thing Dillinger was concerned about, was if he went on vacation, he wanted to make sure he was covered here. But he wouldn't need that person unless he so happens to be on
Yeah,
vacation.
I don't understand how they would do that now, that they would just get paid kind of a salary.
Yeah, that'd be a salary like you're on call even if they don't work at all. So I think it should be a part-time thing where they have to.
Part-time with hours
justify.
worked.
So we're gonna have the elected official, and are we gonna have chief deputy?
Yes,
And then the other one will be called part-time.
right, and give him
Sorry,
$3,000 for part-time person.
Yeah, just say part-time, period.
Just make it
So,
the 117.
Deputy.
one,
Say
one,
part-time.
you gonna put a new number on it, or you gonna leave it at 115?
No, it has to be 11700. That's all.
1170,
00 is all part-time
that'll be
people.
called part-time.
3,000?
Well,
That's what we're
depends
allocating.
on how much
Yeah,
vacation.
that's what we're allocating, 3,000, but the claims would come in on the hours worked, is that correct?
That's what,
And it,
Well, then he'll determine the hourly rate
right, if
within the county.
within the county structure.
parameter, so if he needs to use Scott's dad because he's going out of town and they both get called on, then it'll just be for the hours that that person works and not an every 2-week paycheck that he'll
I
get.
think that's better.
What about office rent? Remember he wants an office here?
I don't
We
think,
crossed it off.
yeah, but I don't think we can do that, Jim.
Why?
Well, commissioners has gotta find him room.
I thought they
I
had,
was just gonna ask, have they found any?
We've looked at the different options. The only time he wants to be in here,
meeting with people.
is to meet with people. There's a lot of room.
In the drug task force area?
Well, I didn't think that
Yeah,
was a
but he
good
was
place to
wanting
take
some kind
people
of
down
office
to.
space.
Janet, can he meet down here in one of these, just down the hall, there's a vacant,
Yeah,
to meet with people? Then he
Yeah.
wants a place to have secure files. That room down here, storage room, nobody's got keys to that, not everybody does, that's pretty well secure.
Just the
Yeah.
people that change a thing. But if he's talking about those prescriptions, I would say we need to just tell him, if he goes to the people's homes and they've passed away and he pulls their meds or whatever, that when he brings them, just bring them in this building and store them down in DTF.
Or sheriff's office. You don't have to meet with people in the jail, but you can, and not that they're overwhelmed with space either, but, there's definitely some options. So that leaves us with, this rent of 2,500.
Well, he was
Yeah, but
concerned
he-
about a place to keep his
Yeah.
computer and his secure
That's right, he
file.
needs an office.
You gotta have an office of some kind, either here
At home or someplace.
What did he say about, he also mentioned the fact of some equipment.
You guys mentioned to him that he would need startup equipment, he'd have to wait to see what he got at the first of the year.
what he got.
To see what he needed, like if he needed bags to haul his stuff around, how much stuff
I can't,
Scott had for
I
him.
can't understand why he couldn't go upstairs in them little,
One of them rooms we meet in.
yeah, for his office.
He can.
He can use the one right outside of, and the other thing is, there's very nice, Miriam McCluskey, the part-time lady, has a beautiful office right up front in the health department. Which, there's 2 people out front, why can't we move Mary Ann out front and give the coroner, the elected official, her office? Because if you go, you have to go get a death certificate down there if you have any issue like that anyway.
Commissioner,
Hey, Commissioner Whitley.
Tom, Commissioner Rutley,
We need you.
Front and center.
Don's
Did he
still,
walk out?
Don's still in the building if we need to talk into him, so.
well, I just wondered if that was brought in front.
Well,
Was
he's
the-
here.
You're off.
You're on what?
I'm not dressed to give a commissioner's report.
We don't want a
I
commissioner
don't
report.
appreciate being called in from the council again twice in 2 months. But shoot your best arrow.
I'm ready.
Shoot your best arrow.
The coroner, was it brought to your attention that he needs an office space within the government building?
I knew about it, but he never appeared before us. I think he said something to the chairman or to, but he has never approached me, and we have never discussed it at a commissioner's meeting. I have heard about that he was thinking about it. I don't know. It seems to me that Don might have said he looked for a place, but we don't have a place for him. I don't know where we'd put him.
Can't he just use one of these little rooms here? No more, he's gonna need an office.
That isn't his issue, his issue is someplace where he can have his computer and his secure files. Someplace he can lock up and that's,
I still think that you could move the part-time health inspector, Mary Ann McCluskey, out of one of those nice offices in the health department, and he could lock that door every day and she could move out where the two people used to meet out where Joanne's at. I mean, from looking around, and that would be where they go for death certificates. It's right inside the front door, where they have to meet them. So,
Tom, what do you think of that idea?
Cookies.
Well, I don't know, I would wanna,
check with
before
Dr.
I throw
Hatcher.
out things like that, I think I would wanna talk to Dr. Hatcher first and see, rather than just, cause we just kinda reprimanded Mary Ann
We
for,
don't need it in there.
So,
That office we're at.
I think
No,
I'd wait.
We can deal with this at the last minute, I guess, but I guess our challenge would be to you commissioners, find him a place in this building. We don't wanna pay rent somewhere to put him someplace.
So,
What
He,
about
he
that?
told us he needed an office to meet with, if you come in there on a matter. But he had a place, he didn't wanna meet in the jail with him or anything, but just, which you don't have a lot of that, he acted like. But he needed a secure place to put his files and his,
If we could, and this just ran through my mind, but if we could find a place in the courthouse, would that suffice?
I don't think it matters where,
I
really.
don't think it does either.
He just don't prefer the jail. We kinda suggested jail basement or someplace.
We might be able to find a small room in the.
And he doesn't need much. He told us he doesn't.
What's in that, what used to be the Columbia Township Assessor's Office?
Storage.
Up there?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
File
pretty well
cabinets and storage.
taken over, yeah.
It has to have the internet, or I would take it that's what he wants, right?
What's in there where we used to meet?
In the courthouse?
Downstairs there in the corner.
That's a 4D meeting office.
Oh,
We could explore that, see if there's a place over there.
Might also ask the prosecutor if they got any place up there he could use. They got a lot of room, space-wise.
he doesn't need a lot of
No,
way tall.
but he could fit in there, so, a lot of different places.
I just
One
can't
of the
believe it would
places
be
we've
something.
had is taken one of these smaller rooms, take the smallest room upstairs and make that into a coroner's office and leave the larger back room for meetings, and that's where the State Board of Accounts does their work when they come in, but they're only here. So I would think, that, and I'm not totally against the health department, I'm just saying, Mary Ann might, we reprimanded her a couple months ago and things, and I don't want her, but she is part-time. But my first choice would be that little room upstairs,
as you come off the elevator.
yeah.
Will you three discuss that and kinda, when we meet in September, put the
Okay.
final on it, we'll know where we are with that?
Okay. Okay.
So for now, you want to leave it in?
Well, I don't know.
Leave it high, leave it low? I mean, it's not that.
I think
Just take it out.
We can find something, Ken.
Okay.
They got an increase of from 2,500 to 3,500. Can we leave it at 25? Should we?
Take it out.
I just
Just
take it out.
take it out.
Because, I mean, we have the courthouse.
And we might put it back if we had to, but I don't think
We'll
we'll have
find
to.
a place, someplace.
Yeah, because we gotta have some money for some,
John, no more than they use the room right next to us, we can put him in there.
Oh, you mean right over here?
I'm not going there.
Look at Tom, look on
How
Tom.
many people see their death certificate anyway? You ever think about that? You guys aren't gonna see your death
Yep.
certificate, so what makes you?
But next to Ken need it for everything.
Yeah.
All
right.
talked about
Have a good day,
for his office rent and having a place
I
for
changed-
controlled
I had to
substances,
change
you wouldn't
it
want
2,000
that.
from-
There's no way, that'd be an improper place for controlled substances.
No, but
37,006.
I thought Paula said he'd take
Yeah.
that to the jail.
You're right,
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, well, we'd have to,
Yeah, he has no business having that kind of stuff in his office.
He has 15
Right,
to
and
1,500.
CTF is in the basement of this
And
building,
you
that's
asked
locked
25, I
in,
think.
so, and
That's
it's locked
set
inside
up.
there.
Where I got that.
We don't want that kind of stuff all over the place.
What'd you put, did anybody have anything on
37,006.
equipment maintenance?
and
I had a
lease.
question mark by it.
You didn't put any number down?
No.
Oh, okay.
2012 was
I got
1,500.
Did you put a number down, Bill?